Mazande Velours, makers of the finest French-style wines in California, are proud to present the Q Footsteps Audio Theater. Mazande Velours, American wines with the exquisite taste of a Parisian adventure. Treat your guests to a European getaway while staying at home with Mazande Velours.
Good evening. Welcome to another thrilling episode of the Q Footsteps Audio Workshop. This one is spine-chilling in such a delectable way. It starts with a curse. I know, curses aren't real. They're just silly superstitions. Try telling that to an actor. They're so superstitious. Watch them gasp when the name of a certain Scottish play is said aloud in a theater, for example. The cast of Georgina Stall's new Off-Broadway play, Reflections in a Pond, were definitely in that group. All but one, that is. Rules don't apply to Victor Koning, in his opinion. He reasons that he is a thespian, an artiste, so he shouldn't have to bother with such trivialities. The public love him, and his shows are always sell out, so, unfortunately for those who have to work with him, his pomposity is tolerated. Well, it was. This new cast and producer may not have the patience for his shenanigans, something they discuss as they gather for their first rehearsal.
So this is the Thalia Theater.
Just Thalia, darling. The founder realized one could ruin their tongue with all of those THs.
Thalia is the muse of poetry and comedy, right, Miss Pryce?
Oh, God. The name is Eleanor. Don't put me in black silk and jet beads before my time. And yes, she is. I know you were Lance Londell. Who are you, young lady?
Joyce Christine. I'm thrilled I get to play in this beautiful place. But I'm even more thrilled that I get to work with you, Eleanor. It was your portrayal of Bella in Angel Street that inspired me to take up acting.
Oh, that old chestnut. It was a good part, I will admit. Speaking of old chestnuts, I understood that Victor was joining us for this debacle. Where is Lord Koning?
He's on his way. Mr. Lennox, the producer, is picking him up himself.
Oh, I do hope he brought an extra set of muscles. That ego of Victor's weighs quite a bit all by itself.
Oh, but he's such a wonderful actor. His Hamlet, oh, wow.
He knows his way around the bod, I will admit. I will also admit, freely and openly, that he is a pompous cad.
Oh, Eleanor.
I speak only the truth, and you know it, Georgina. I balked at taking the role of Florence when I heard he was to be Carlton. The only reason I agreed to participate in this play is because it is a truly fabulous piece of writing. If you don't win a Pulitzer for Reflections in a Pond, it will be a crime.
Thanks, Eleanor. I am really proud of it. Thank you for being willing to be in it.
You're welcome. Just, for all of our sakes, keep the Emperor in line, please. Lance Londell, I believe you were just in Satin and Sand.
Oh, I was, but I'm surprised you know that. It was a small part, in a terrible play.
I saw that play. You were great. The rest of it, well,
Oh, that's okay, I know. Hey, I saw you in that musical All Aboard. You were amazing.
Thank you. That was a fun one, especially the finale, when I came down on a star dressed as a mermaid.
Hail, fellow thespians! I, Victor Koning, have arrived. Let the festivities begin.
You're late.
Ah, Dame Pryce, how lovely to see you, you disputatious crumpet.
Doesn't disputatious mean argumentative?
Ah, Broadway's lovely new ingenue. Joyce Christine, you are like a diamond, blinding in your coruscating beauty and razor sharp. I shall have to watch my step around you. Ah, and you must be Lance Londell, the man who is said to be the heir apparent to leading man extraordinaire. I will not consider you a foe. Though we may be in for a fight for the next staging of Romeo and Juliet. Are we four the only members of the cast?
Yes, something you'd know if you'd read the script.
I read it, Sir Lennox, but I only paid attention to my part. Georgina, darling, it is an absolute tour de force.
Thank you. And it's also tricky, and we need to get in as much rehearsal as we can, so let's get to it.
First things first. I must drink in the lady. That is Thalia. It has been so long since I have tread her boards.
It's been 10 years since anyone performed here. Why was it closed for so long?
I'll answer that. Because the owner was murdered right here in this auditorium.
Really? Who did it? And why?
Nobody knows why. The murderer was never caught.
It was pure luck that the family decided they wanted to reopen right when we needed a theater. It's really important that this play is a smash for both your reputations and for the family. They need Thalia to make money again, and frankly, the city needs this theater back in the herd. There are a lot of great plays out there, but not nearly enough places to stage them.
Okay, that's enough reminiscing. Everyone, please find your place at the table, and we'll get started. I want to read through the entire play first, so you can all get a feel.
Without a director? Is he running late? Who is shepherding us, pray tell?
I am. We don't have a big budget, and I decided to put most of it in the four of you.
George is an excellent director. She directed her series of one-acts last year.
You deceived me, Martin. When you said the director was one of the best, I assumed an established name. I would have preferred Henry, or even that Radcliffe fellow.
A choice of director was not in your contract, on purpose. And you've signed that contract, so sit down. I think you'll find that you'll be better off than with either Henry Falstaff or Ian Radcliffe.
Well, we will see about that. Very well. As you pointed out so barbarically, I have signed my life and will away.
Let's do a read-through, then we'll take a break, discuss, and read again. I'll take the stage directions, okay? Act 1, Scene 1. Lights rise on the interior of a summer cottage.
Well, thanks for giving us a tour of the place during our break, Mr. Lennox. After hearing about the murder, I've been very curious to see everything. Where did it happen?
I'd rather not say. It'd give you nightmares at best, and it might be bad luck at worst. You wouldn't find any evidence of the crime anyway. Everything has been cleaned thoroughly. I hear a psychic was even brought in to cast a spell or something. Yeah, here are the dressing rooms. You can each have your own, as there are only 4 of you. This one here is the best of the lot.
Ah, my old sanctuary. Ah, the memories I created in this tiny palace.
Well, that was a none too subtle hint. Take it, Victor. I wouldn't want to get between you and an old friend. If no one has an objection, I'll help myself to the one next door to this.
Fine with me. I'm happy with anything I get.
Shed that attitude and quickly. You don't get what you deserve in this world. You get what you fight for.
Isn't that the truth? Well, as for dressing rooms, I'll take the one across from Mr. Koning. That way you 2 ladies can be close in case you need to borrow curlers or powder from each other.
Well, that was surprisingly easy. I'd like to take a look at Victor's. From what I've heard, palace is a fitting adjective.
Oh, please, be my guest.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Look at all the gold. Gold wallpaper, gold curlicues on the furniture. It's something out of a fairy tale. Who is that man in the portrait over the dressing table?
That is Trevor Stamp, the man who built and owned this theater, and was brutally murdered as thanks. The woman in the portrait in my dressing room is his wife Charlotte. She died of a broken heart soon after the murder.
I believe we have all heard enough about that tragedy, Eleanor. I know I have. It happened long ago. Let's leave it in the past where it belongs and consider our scintillating futures instead. I'm going to start here and now by removing this image of a past best forgotten.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Victor. It's bad luck to even touch that painting. I've heard there was a curse put on it.
I don't take much stock in luck myself, bad or good, but as he was murdered...
Oh, pish, Tosh, I've no patience at all for the superstitions surrounding the theater world. Review my life's work, and you will see that I have never been touched by anything but magnificence. There. Take this objet d'art and hang it in a place where I will not encounter it.
Oh, but Mr. Koning, don't you think that
Silence! Should there be any actual bad luck, and it is attributable to this painting, I will take it all upon myself. I hereby declare that none of you had anything to do with the removal of it and should not be held accountable.
You heard the man. It's now his funeral.
What a lovely thought. I think we should get back to rehearsal now.
Oh, my. I didn't know curses knocked.
They don't. That, I believe, is someone at the side door.
Odd. I'll go see who it is.
I have a special delivery letter from Mr. Victor Koning. I went to his home and his maid said he was here.
Why didn't you just leave it at the house?
I was given strict instructions to deliver it to Mr. Koning personally, no matter where he was.
Okay, follow me. Victor, delivery for you.
For me? Here? How did they know to find me here?
Because you tell the world everything you're doing at all times.
Oh, I do not. Must have been Fifi, my maid. Told her 1,000 times to keep her mouth shut to no avail. Martin, give the boy a nickel or something. My wallet's at home.
Of course it is. I'm keeping tabs. Here you go. Thanks.
Well, so much for your curse.
What do you mean, Mr. Koning?
Darling, this is a letter from Milton Danforth himself.
Milton Danforth, the head of Giant Studios?
The very one and the same. He wanted to ask me directly to meet with him regarding a part in one of his movies. He also sent a copy of this letter to my agent, of course. Must keep things on the up and up.
You. In the movies.
And why not? I have both the talent and the looks necessary for the silver screen. I will accept, of course, with the caveat that I must do this play first. I never break promises or contracts.
If we ever get this thing off the ground, let's get back to work, please. Opening night is coming all too fast.
Good morning, Lance. Are we the first here?
Well, first, except for the stage crew. Will you look at that set? Oh, looks like a real summer house.
It's beautiful. I can't believe we open in a week, can you?
The past 2 weeks went by really fast, for sure. What I really can't believe is how easy it was to memorize all of my lines. Oh, this is the best part I've ever had, for sure.
I know what you mean. I'm beginning to think Victor was right.
About what?
About that bad luck. Not only has nothing bad happened, things seem to be going better than they should be. My agent called me last night with not one, but 3 offers for Broadway shows.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations. I've gotten a couple offers myself, though we wouldn't be affected by the curse, would we? I mean, we didn't have anything to do with Victor taking the portrait down.
I would have thought something that happened in a theater would affect everyone, but who knows? He should really be getting the whammy, since not only did he take it down, he put a portrait of himself in its place. But instead, he's living the life of Riley. He just won an award from Broadway Lights magazine.
Good morning, you two. Thanks for being on time.
Hi, George. I can't speak for Joyce, but me, I can't wait to get going in the morning. This is really the best play I've ever done.
You're young yet. Let me know in 20 years if you feel the same way.
Good morning, one and all. This set is looking more and more like my cottage in the Hamptons. How did you do it, George?
I didn't. The blame goes to the set designer, who I believe has a cottage next to yours.
Ah, yes, he does. That explains it.
The costumer is here this morning to do the final fittings. Lance, why don't you and Joyce go to her now? If she can get everything done by lunch, I'd like to do a dress rehearsal this afternoon.
Ooh, I'd love that. One of the dresses I have to wear is a flowy gown, and I want to get used to walking in it. Let's go, Lance.
I can almost remember when it was thrilling to try on new costumes. The excitement wore off after the 100th, I think.
You should never allow the things you love to become mundane.
Wise words. Perhaps my jaded soul will hear them.
I bet it will soon.
It may at that. You're an amazing woman, Georgina Stall. No matter what happens, I truly hope that you and I remain friends. You make a grande dame feel young again.
Well, I would be honored to be your friend. I've grown pretty fond of you myself.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to two of the loveliest ladies in New York.
Oh, you're more obnoxious than usual. What's the occasion? Oh, wait, don't tell me. You shagged, as the British say.
I will neither confirm nor deny, nor will I ever name names. What a lovely set! I must see this close up.
That's not a good idea, Victor. It's not safe.
Oh my gosh, the rope on the flat we were raising broke. Mr. Koning, are you all right?
I'm startled, but unharmed, thank you. By sheer luck, I just happen to be where the door is. Well, now, if that doesn't dispel the curse theory, I don't know what will. Now, to inspect the rest of the stage.
I heard a bang. What happened?
A piece of scenery broke loose and fell right after Victor went on stage to take a look at the set. He's fine. It didn't hit him.
Wow. Accident? Or has the curse finally come to get him?
Purely an accident. The rope used to pull the flat up had a weak spot. No one noticed. I just checked it myself.
Maybe Victor's right then. Maybe he really is impervious to bad luck.
No one is ever impervious to all bad luck. Misfortune happens to all of us at some point. That's part of life. Never forget this, my young friend. Everyone gets what they deserve in the end. Everyone.
Was the scenery falling really just an accident? Was Victor narrowly escaping injury truly good fortune? Or did fate have bad aim? Stay tuned for the next chapter of our little melodrama after a word from our delightful sponsor, of course.
Spring, the season of beautiful weather, egg hunts, and lots of celebrations, from Easter to graduations to weddings. The perfect accompaniment to any special occasion is an ice-cold bottle of Maison de Velours sparkling wine. A crisp brut goes beautifully with wedding cake. A lively pink lambrusco is perfect for toasting a new graduate. Then there's Prosecco, the light and happy Italian sparkler that goes with everything. When you need a beverage for whatever you're celebrating, buy Maison de Velours, a guaranteed party in every bottle.
Scenery was properly secured and rehearsal went on that day without a hitch. The rest of the week was uneventful, as far as mishaps anyway, and the little group forgot about the accident. The following Wednesday was their open dress rehearsal and press night for all of the critics. Would their luck hold? Or would the curse finally rear its ugly head?
And when I look at myself in the pond now, Malcolm, I don't see her anymore. Instead, I see the pain of what was melted away, and the joy of what I am right now, glowing like the rising sun on a perfect day.
Gee, I guess they liked it.
As well they should. this is one of the best plays they will ever see. I mean that now more than ever.
I second that motion. It's time to get the party started. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your enthusiastic support. Please join us in the lobby for refreshments and possibly an interview or two.
Great job, everyone. We couldn't have asked for a better dress rehearsal. Please, go change before you mingle. The wolves can wait 5 minutes.
Excellent idea, Martin. I don't think I could stand another minute in this beast of a dress. Wool is not an appropriate fabric for an actor, no matter how appropriate it is for the play.
Oh, just...
Not a complaint, merely an observation. I'm willing to suffer for this one. Come, children.
Yeah, she does have an excellent point. Tell the press I will be quick. Victor Koning, you outdid yourself out there tonight. You are the king of Broadway, and the reviews will prove it. Victor. Who spoke? Is there someone hiding in the wardrobe? Come out, you ruffian!
Victor!
2 in the wardrobe. Not possible. No one is in there. I must be hearing things.
Victor! Remember the curse. Remember the curse. You know why you must.
Ah, be gone, you pranksters. It is a sick joke you play. I am not amused.
Victor? Are you okay?
That was not funny.
What wasn't?
Oh. No, of course it wasn't you. Voice is all wrong.
Huh?
The voice I came up with for the part I was offered. I thought I'd try it while I changed. It needs to be higher. Higher, I think. Yes. Are you ready to join the party?
Yeah, I was just gonna head out when I heard you yelling. Are you sure you're okay?
Never been better in my life. Come, my boy, let me introduce you to some people who will change your life.
Good morning, everyone. Great night last night. Really great. I have to confess, I cried through most of it. I knew what these characters sounded like to me, but I didn't think anyone else would have the same vision. You all do. To see my dream moving in front of me in real life was overwhelming.
I can't speak for anyone else, but I know for me it was an absolute thrill. I was Alberta last night, and this stage was really a cottage.
I felt the same way about playing John.
Now all you have to do is recreate that thrill 300 or 400 more times. Hopefully. Where is Lord Koning? Shouldn't he be attending the soiree?
I am here, sweet lady. I was rearranging some things in my dressing room.
You were the one doing all of the banging. What were you doing? Remaking the furniture?
No, not at all. After last night, I'm certain we will be here for a long time, so I added a few works of art to those rather barren walls. I like my home away from home to feel cozy and welcoming.
And don't get too carried away with your redecorating, Victor. Grace Stamp wouldn't like it. She loves the theater just the way it is.
Never fear, my dear producer. Everything I've done is reversible.
Not everything, my dear actor.
What do you mean, Mr. Lennox?
He can't take back last night's performance. My phone has been ringing all morning. The critics loved everything about the show. Opening night was already sold out. Now every night for the first 2 weeks are as well. Broadway is knocking, and I'm already in negotiations for a national tour.
We're sold
Really?
out
Wow.
Finally
for
heard.
2 weeks.
Excellent.
Broadway stints and tours are still only possibilities, everyone. It's going to be up to you to turn them into reality.
Oh, we'll do it, Mr. Lennox. You can count on that. I thought this play was going to be doomed after hearing about that curse about the painting, but we've had the best luck I've ever seen.
I told you there was no curse. There's no good luck either. We in the room are all extraordinarily talented people. We deserve all of the accolades and offers.
Victor, where have you been?
Randall Humphreys. My agent, everyone. What do you mean, Randall? You know where I've been, right here. Or home. Hasn't been time for anything else.
You weren't home last night or this morning. Not only did I try to call you, I went to your flat. The doorman said you hadn't been in since yesterday morning.
Oh, right. How soon we forget the insignificant. I stayed at a friend's last night. We were out into the wee hours celebrating my marvelous performance, you see, and I was too exhausted to even think about trying to get home.
He is wearing the same clothes from yesterday, unfortunately.
There, you see? Yes. So, what is your dire emergency? There must be one for you to be stomping all over the city in search of little moi.
Let's take this outside, please. I'd rather not discuss your affairs in front of your castmates.
Fine with me. I wouldn't want to make them jealous. Non-friends.
Take 10, everyone. If he's not back in 10, we'll start with your notes. There should be coffee in the lobby. Our magnificent stage manager hasn't failed us yet.
I could use a coffee. How about you, George? Martin?
Definitely.
Lead the way, ladies. I would never even consider assuming command with you two around.
Excellent thinking.
Lance, would you come with me for a minute?
Sure. What for?
I need to tell you something. Something kind of secret.
We had to come backstage? Why here? Did you find a secret passage or something?
No. I got here really early this morning. I know it's going to sound silly, but I just wanted to have the place to myself for a few minutes. Relive what happened last night. It was just all so magical.
It doesn't sound silly to me. I do the same thing every play I'm in.
Oh, really? I'm so glad to hear I'm not the only one. I also count to 7 before I walk on the stage for the first time.
I always keep a penny in my pocket. I've always laughed it off when someone said actors were superstitious, but I guess we really are.
Yeah, I guess we really are. Victor's really superstitious, despite what he says.
How do you know?
That's the secret I wanted to tell you. When I got here, I stood on the stage for a few minutes. Suddenly, I heard banging. It was coming from back here, by the dressing rooms. I was worried a thief had gotten in, so I sneaked down to check it out. Victor was in his dressing room. The door was open so I could see inside. He was in pajamas, and he was knocking on the walls with a hammer.
Knocking on the walls with a hammer? Why?
I have no idea. I also don't know why he slept here last night. The whole thing is really strange.
Maybe we can figure out what he was doing.
You mean sneak into his dressing room? Should we?
Why not? We won't touch anything. Just look. Wow. Would you look at this place? I thought it was fancy before. He's gone and added all kinds of stuff. A Chinese screen, a bunch of those French perfume bottles on the vanity. Whew, that sofa has to be an antique.
Lance, look at the walls. There are holes and hammer marks all over them.
Oh, gee, Mr. Lennox isn't going to like that. Hey, do you think Victor might have hidden a treasure in here and then forgot where he put it?
Oh, maybe. He did say he used this dressing room before. Hey, the most marks are where that portrait was. Maybe he really is worried about the curse.
Say, you just might have something there. Uh-oh, someone's coming. What do? We can't leave without getting caught.
Oh, what we do best. Play a scene. Come here, handsome.
Huh? Oh.
Well. This room does have a reputation as a love nest. I thought you two might be more than fellow actors.
Victor! Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry. We just
No need to explain. I was young once myself. And I'm still young enough to use dressing rooms for more than just, changing clothes.
Oh, thanks. You can keep this to yourself, can't you? We don't want to cause any scandal. Not for ourselves, and not to this play.
For the good of the play, my lips will remain sealed. However, I will tuck this little tidbit away in a place where I can pull it out again easily in the right situation, if you know what I mean.
Lance, Joyce, Victor, let's get to work.
You two run along. Tell Madam Director that I shall be out shortly.
What a nerve! Thinking that he can use what he saw as blackmail? I thought I liked him, at least a little, but now...
Don't worry about it, Joyce. He doesn't have a leg to stand on. But we have a couple of legs on him. I say we tell George everything.
Good idea. Let's do it at lunch, when we can be out of this place, and away from eavesdroppers. I guess we really are good actors.
What do you mean?
Our passionate love scene fooled the great Victor Koning.
So it did.
That's it, Lance. Thanks for taking my note and making that adjustment. I think it's a great place to stop for lunch.
Make that the rest of the day. You four deserve a break before opening night tomorrow.
For the first time in a very long time, I don't feel as if I need a break, but I will take it.
I feel as you do. I think I will take this gift of free time to lounge in my dressing room and let the words of this sage bard dance in my head.
Sorry, Victor, but I need everyone out. The building inspector is coming to do a final check on the theater.
No, but...
There's no reason you can't do your lounging at home. Or is there?
No reason at all, I suppose.
As you can see, this is the main auditorium. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope we're not disturbing you.
No, Miss Stamp. We're just getting ready to leave. Lance, Joyce, Eleanor, Victor, this is Grace Stamp, daughter of the founder of Thalia and its current owner.
And you are the amazing cast of Reflections in a Pond. I saw the dress rehearsal last night. It was thrilling.
Thank
I'm
you.
so
no,
glad
that's
you liked
nice
it.
of you to
say.
You're so welcome. This was the perfect play to reopen Thalia with no doubt about it. You should come see it, Mr. Phelps. I can arrange for a ticket for you, after you've completed your inspection, of course.
Well, I'll have to check regulations to see if that's permitted. If it is, I will gladly take you up on that. We'll get out of your hair now. Victor, how about lunch at the Blue Room? My treat. I'd like to get your opinion on a couple of plays I'm thinking of producing.
Well, seeing as you've so generously offered to foot the bill, why not?
I think I'll ring my Monsieur Thor, see if he can squeeze me in. Swedish masseurs are the only ones for me. They have the best hands. A biento.
Give me a few minutes to clean up, Miss Stamp, then I'll be gone too. No need to stay, Lance. Joyce, I can manage.
Actually, there's something we'd like to talk to you about.
Go ahead and finish, Miss Stall, and don't rush. I'll take Mr. Phelps backstage. That area will take a while to inspect, I'm sure.
You two look serious. What's the matter?
There's something we think you should know. Victor didn't spend the night at a friend's. He spent it here.
Victor slept here. How do you know?
I got here early and he was already here in his pajamas. He was also hammering on all of the walls in his dressing room.
Yeah, Joyce told me about it during break. Then we went into his dressing room to see if we could figure out why he was doing all the banging.
Did you?
No. There are holes and marks all over the place. He made a real mess.
Yeah, he came in before we could get out, so we had to fake a love scene to give us a reason for being there.
I would have loved to have seen that. Did he buy it?
Yeah, hook, line, and sinker. He bought it too well.
He actually hinted that he'd use it as blackmail in the future if he needed to.
Oh, he did he? Well, don't worry about it, kids. Even if it wasn't just an act, I'd back you up. Thanks for telling me all of this. Now go on home and take it easy while you can. You two are about to go on the ride of your lives.
Oh, thanks, George, for everything.
Yes, thank you, George.
Is everyone gone?
Yes, albeit reluctantly.
Grace, I just heard that Victor was here all night and that he was hammering on the walls.
You don't say. You don't suppose that's because he really does believe in that curse?
Not only do I suppose it, I'm hoping for it. I have a feeling tomorrow night is going to be one for the history books, for a whole bunch of reasons.
I hope you're right. You don't need to go, by the way. I brought lunch for you. It's in my office. Go on up. Peter and I will join you as soon as he's finished.
Thanks.
That's two good things that have happened lately. Meeting you and this play. After 10 long years, life is finally looking up. If tomorrow night goes as planned, I think it will stay up for a long, long time.
A smash? That is what we have created, a smash. Rid yourselves of any mantelpiece bric-a-brac because you'll all need room for the awards you'll win. I've already ordered a custom display case for mine.
Normally, I would chide you for being so pompous, but this time I believe you are correct. Lance and Joyce, you were truly superb.
You were all incredible. Now go home and get some rest so you can be incredible tomorrow. You got 2 shows, don't forget.
Oh, it's gonna take a while for me to wind down enough to sleep. Anyone care to join me at Guido's for a celebratory drink or two?
I will.
I'm afraid these old bones have seen their last late party. Have a drink for me, and know that I am toasting with you in spirit.
How about you, Victor?
Oh, I have a previous engagement, I fear. However, if I find the meeting is a short one, I will stop in and see if you are still carousing.
I can't make it either, I'm afraid. I have a very early meeting with my agent tomorrow. She's on her way to Los Angeles and can't meet at any other time.
Yep, I have to beg off too. Sorry.
Guess it's just you and me, kid. Let's go.
Allow me to escort you lovely ladies. I've arranged for a cab to meet us at the stage door. Coming, Victor?
Presently, I need to get a few things from my dressing room. Farewell until tomorrow, comrades.
You get some rest too, Mr. Koning. You're not the youth you once were, either.
I shall have no fear. Ah, good, that's the last of them. Now I can go back to searching for the source of that mysterious voice. There must have been someone playing a trick on me, though a trick in very poor taste. It's not conceivable that anyone actually knows. I see no wires, no hidden speakers, certainly no hidden doors. I've torn this entire dressing room apart and nothing. How was it done?
I don't need wires or speakers.
Who are you? Where are you, and why are you haunting me?
Better to ask who I was.
Who you were?
Yes, Victor, who I was.
I have no idea.
Of course you don't. You have no regard for anyone but yourself. Therefore, no recognition or respect of a fellow human. You couldn't even bother to keep my memory, replacing it with an image of your own face.
You're trying to tell me that you're the ghost of Trevor Stamp. I don't believe it. There are no such things as ghosts.
Oh, but there are, Victor. Ghosts and curses. The broken curse here has dire consequences. You shall not leave the theater alive, but instead join the other spirits in eternity.
Not leave this theater alive? Why?
You know why. It was you who caused the curse in the first place.
It was you who murdered me, Victor Koning. A cold-blooded act by a cold-hearted killer.
No, I'm no killer.
It was you, Victor. You wrapped your hands around my throat and robbed me of my life.
I didn't mean to. It was an accident, Trevor. You have to believe me. When you discovered I was the one who had been stealing cash receipts from your office and you confronted me, I lost my head. I couldn't get arrested. It would ruin my career. I only meant to threaten you. I swear. I threw your body over the balcony railing and hoped that your death would be ruled accidental.
So you admit you murdered me.
Oh, yes, 1,000 times, yes. I was afraid to step foot in this theater again for fear of my connection to your death being discovered. But I was also afraid to avoid the place for the same reason. I'm truly sorry it happened, and even more sorry that it took the life of your wife as well.
It's much too late for that.
Is that enough, Peter?
It is indeed.
What? You? Aren't you the building inspector? What are you doing here?
Last question first. Miss Stamp let me in. As for my profession, I do work for the city as a homicide detective. Victor Koning, you're under arrest for the murder of Trevor Stamp. Come with me.
Good night and good riddance. I must say, I have never felt so satisfied with a role.
And you were magnificent in it. As were you, Martin.
Thank you, thank you. I think I'll stick to my behind-the-scenes role, though. Not nearly as, well, dramatic.
Oh, Martin.
Oh, Martin. Thanks for coming in early, everyone. As you can imagine, we have a couple of things to discuss.
I'll say. I can't believe it. Victor, a murderer. It's all over the news.
Yeah, and a thief. You knew about it, didn't you, George?
Yes, I did, though only recently. Grace and I became friends a couple of years ago, and we grew close very quickly. She told me about her father's murder. About the same time, I met Eleanor in another production. She was and is a friend of the Stamp family. Both of them told me they were convinced Victor was behind it, but they had no proof. I believed them and wanted to help.
It was George who came up with a brilliant idea to draw Victor back to Thalia with the offer of a new production. We knew that if he was really the killer, that he'd be too curious and too afraid not to take the part. I'm glad she talked me into it. I was actually considering selling Thalia. I didn't want to keep the awful memories. Now I'm thrilled to have it open and flourishing again. That mishap with the scenery, that was carefully staged to put a scare in Victor, give him a bit of paranoia. Then George and Martin paid him a ghostly visit to really scare him. Everything we did was legal, if a bit extreme. We checked with Peter first.
Lieutenant Peter Phelps is my cousin. I told him what we were up to, and he wanted in. That was a case the whole force wanted solved. We brought him in as a building inspector just in case he needed to have a reason to be around before we played that final act.
Oh, so this whole thing was just a setup? Oh, darn, I was hoping to get to play John for a long time.
Oh, you will be. A funny thing happened. The setup became a legitimate hit. You'll go on today as usual and for many days and nights to come.
But how can we without Victor? Who will play his part?
Oh, just Howard McSwain, the real king of Broadway. Eleanor and I have been working with him to get him up to speed. He's better than Victor ever could be, and a lot nicer.
And in case you're wondering, since the news broke, only 2 people have requested refunds.
We're going to be playing with Howard McSwain? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's been my dream to work with him.
I believe that means that this theater is not the holder of a curse, but of a magic wand. Wishes have been granted all over.
Oh, that gives me an idea for a new play.
Just desserts and the sweet smell of success. Even Victor got a piece of humble pie. Oh, I do believe I'm getting hungry. That reminds me of a deliciously evil story that takes place in a bakery. Oh, but I'll save that story for another time. This is Mr. Stygian wishing you a good evening and pleasant dreams if... if you can.
Thank you for listening to The Curse, another thrilling episode from the Q Footsteps Audio Workshop, brought to you by Mazande Velours. Mazande Velours, American wines with the exquisite taste of a Parisian adventure. Treat your guests to a European getaway while staying at home with Mazande Velours. Tonight's cast included Lauren Baumbauer, Lisa Fredrickson, Val Kuhns, Max Levine, Mike Luce, and Richard Tatum. Story by Val Kuhns. Sound patterns by Val Kuhns. This has been a Q Footsteps production.
Ta-da!
Hey, somebody break open a bottle of Maison de Valois.
No, you're very important. No, you're very important. No, you're very important. I'm not important.
Talking of Michelangelo.
Bake the hole in the candle for praying!
You bet you're putting that guy do. Doodle-oo-doo-doo, doodle-oo-doo-doo, doodle-oo-doo-doo. How do you know I didn't?
Na lamb